Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about Jesus' first temptation. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was starving. The tempter came to him and said, "If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." Jesus answered, "It is written, one does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." It says he hadn't eaten for 40 days and then he was kind of hungry. I think that's one of the biggest understatements in the Bible. And so Satan tempts him with a solution that probably none of us would consider. Just turn the stones into bread. I think that gets at a problem when we look at this story. We think, well, Jesus' temptations aren't my temptations. Right? I can't do what he did, so does this even really matter? I'm going to argue that even though the specifics differ, the root motivation is the same for him and for us. And in fact, these temptations get to three core temptations for all of us: possessions, pride, and power. So here, this core of the temptation is to use what you've got selfishly. And for Jesus, that was his miraculous power. But what do you have? What's your attitude towards what you have? Is it, I earned this, I worked hard to get where I am, to get all this for myself, so I can do what I want with it. That's my right. Whether I show any generosity with it, I might, but that's totally up to me. That tends to be what we say. Typically, the more we have, the more we feel the need to defend it, sometimes by any means necessary. My stuff gives me independence, which is a cultural value, but often a spiritual vice. My stuff, though, we think keeps me safe. I can trust in my trust fund. I'm secure with my securities. Why do you think Jesus talks so often about the spiritual dangers of wealth? Now, he really did have to face this temptation too. If you think about it, he probably could have made quite a career out of providing bread for a price. Maybe he chose to live a life largely free of possessions so that he could be free, so that those things wouldn't possess him. Now, that kind of life, giving up everything, is probably not what most of us are going to choose. I think that's okay, because Jesus still gives us an example. See, there's this other famous scene where Jesus is again in the wilderness, and there's a shortage of food. Except this time, he's joined by a crowd of over 5,000 people. And what does he do with his ability there? He uses it to bless others. So what can you do to bless others with what you've got? We've all got something. So we've all got a way that we can bless someone.